Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the show. I'm hoping people are indoors and keeping warm because if you're anywhere around Luton and anywhere else, it's still a bit wet and windy and stuff out there. So yes, welcome to our lunchtime
One of my
show.
cats is currently out there spinning around in a tornado. So I keep trying to call him, but he can't hear me. He's out there spinning around somewhere. So pray for the cat.
The dog went out, wouldn't go across the park. It's that windy. He's like looking at me like, nope, not going out there. So he walked back.
They keep meowing, open the front door, and then they're like, mm-mm. I'm like, I told you, it ain't gonna change. I keep opening the door and showing them, and it's like, anyway, guys.
Well, you can keep nice and warm with us for half an hour with our little gossip. As you can see, we've got one little guest with us today. I'm not going to do the conversation because I do know a little bit about this person. And I think you might have just been starting to learn the different bits and pieces that the CIC has been doing. So I'm going to leave you to it.
Thanks so much, Shelley. Co-host with the most. So officially we have Jasmine. How do I say your surname?
Mbai.
Mbai. Okay, I did think so, but I didn't want to look like a fool. So yeah, Jasmine Mbai. And your organization is the Like Me, and it's a community. What's it called? CIC. Yeah. So would you like to tell us a little bit more, because we sort of know each other on social networking just about, but you know, I'm interested to learn more about the Like Me CIC as well. So take it away.
Sure. So the Like Me CIC is a personal development, now revamped to personal leadership, employability and wellbeing training company. And we specialize in working with women and teen girls so that they can stop hiding and develop the confidence, the courage and the celebrations that they're able to take control of their lives and really just learn to show up authentically, speak up confidently and shine boldly, meaning just allow their gifts, their talents and their abilities to just kind of like shine forth so that they can live a more meaningful life. So we're all about unleashing female potential.
So how long have you been going for? And do you do face-to-face or is it online or a bit of both?
Started the company in 2018. Life with its peaks and troughs meant that I had to park it for a little while because of my personal circumstances, and then kind of started it again, which almost felt like a start from scratch in 2020. And we do a mixture. So I first met Dee actually when I was doing my first event in 2018. We met for a little coffee beforehand and stuff. And we did our event then face to face, and we were a Luton based organization. After hitting a bit of the restart button on life, and with it being in the midst of the pandemic and the complete lockdown, we then had to take everything virtual. And so now we do more of a hybrid, because what the virtual allowed us to do is to kind of open up our remit. I'd already considered, after doing the first event, wanting to be Bedfordshire wide as opposed to just Luton wide, but it then meant we just kind of like can focus on the UK. But when it comes to in person, we've got a Bedfordshire focus. So yeah, our primary focus is Bedfordshire women and girls.
So how do we get in contact? Like, if I've got any young ladies, because I don't know if you know, like I do some events for children, and to me, like I love this. This is like, you know, singing to the same hymn. How do people get in contact with you? How do we get like young ladies to be involved in this?
Great question. So we've got our website, which is www.thelikemecic.org.uk. So you can head there. We're in the process of needing to update that because we've been doing loads of stuff, but I've gone for a bit of changes in my team. So we need to kind of get it all on there. You can also find us on social media. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're even on, I can always forget it, show my age, TikTok, because we're just trying to be where potential people are that may want to benefit from our services. You know, I am a speaker. We also do our training programs. And this year, we're really wanting to start getting some young girls on board and some women on board for our training programs, all about helping them to develop their personal leadership, thinking about, you know, how they want to show up in the world of work. What are their gifts? What are their abilities, their talents and skills? How are they going to use them to fulfill what I believe God has given each and every one of us? You know, it's really important to let that lead you in life so that you can live a more fulfilled life and live life on purpose. I believe that we need to live rather than exist. And
Amen.
I have a particular passion for more vulnerable women and girls because I know what it's like to be one of those. And that, you know, even just this week, I was watching a show and it just reminded me, because I feel like people's pain. Again, I think it's because I know what it's like to feel that pain myself. I just want to work with people so that they can find their freedom, because all too often in life, we can be dealt cards that enable us to kind of feel trapped, and that's what we perpetuate in life because it's all that we know. And so until we learn otherwise, we won't do differently. And so yeah, we're looking to work with women and girls to help them move from that place of, I don't know how to be more effective, I don't know how to function in a holistic and positive way, to being in that space of I can. And in particular, to remove the mask, because sometimes we look like we know how to do it, we look like we know, but deep down, we're actually just hiding the fact that underneath all of that, we're still deeply scarred.
I think everything you just said there's spot on, because I was going to ask you like how you got into it, and I'm assuming that's you've just like summed it up because you care and you've been that person and you've been through stuff yourself and know what it's like. So yeah, I mean,
I come from a background of abuse, and that is one in childhood. You know, my background is Caribbean. Just before we came on the air, I mentioned to you, you know, my mom's from St. Vincent, my dad's from Jamaica. So yeah, my background is Caribbean. And, you know, as with most Caribbean backgrounds, you know, getting a few licks is no big deal. My generation in particular, I'm probably a bit older than I look, although my grey hair's giving me away right about now. But, you know, my day, that was quite normal. But it wasn't just a normal way of disciplining. For me, it was excessive. And I shared a little bit about that in my TEDx talk that I did last year, and how that really affected me. Because I just learned that I have to just hide how I'm feeling really and what's going on and just be okay, even though really I'm not okay. And so that was my experience for most of my life, until I got into a really good church that dealt with emotional healing to help me heal from that. But the challenge is, you don't know what you don't know. And so in some areas, I'd never experienced that healing. So when I went on to form relationships, I was still coming from that place of brokenness unwittingly. And so, yeah, got into my relationship, had my daughter, and it took a little while for me to really accept the fact that this relationship was not healthy. It was toxic and it was abusive. And so they needed to leave that for some time. But miracles do happen. My husband and I actually did get back together, and we've managed to work through that and continue to do so. But it means that I have a newfound kind of appreciation for how hard it is to take off that mask and to be real. And actually, when I was first interviewed by Dee, she was asking me in an interview like about my childhood experiences, and I remember just skirting around the issue, because at that point I was not free to just share my story. I couldn't. And to Dee, we kept trying to probe. You know, Dee, she's really straightforward, and she just kept trying to probe a little bit. Yeah. And I just couldn't talk. I couldn't open up. And so when life hit rock bottom, and I found myself in places that I'd never in my nightmares imagined myself to ever hit those kind of rock bottoms, that's where the mask just came off. And it was like, do you know what? Just, I'm here now. So what am I going to do? Actually, you know, I'm just going to build up. I'm going to build up from a place of peace, which came with that, just being real, and not hiding actually what I've been through, not hiding where I am, just being open and honest, and allow myself just to connect from that place that we all desire, which is here. But when you're wearing a mask, you can't.
I wish I met you a year ago. You don't understand. Like everything you're speaking is like a mirror of some of the stuff I've been through. So
Right.
I can see why a lot of people will be like motivated and inspired by you. And I think what you're doing is amazing. Literally, like I can't explain how many nails on the head you hit right there. I hope other people agree too. I know Dee's asking some questions in the comments too about do you go into schools, which is definitely a good point.
Yes, so that's what our focus is this year. We want to start partnering with schools, going into the schools. We're just in the process of securing the funding to enable us to do that on a bigger scale. But yeah, going into the schools, want to speak and then also deliver the workshops with girls in those schools. So yes, we do.
Definitely think reaching the kids at a younger age, because people don't realize, and you know, sometimes being that bad kid at school here is not a good label, and like it goes through, like you said, and things go for you for life and you don't realize until you're older. And so hopefully going into schools and that you can get them at an age when they need you the most and change their lives before they spiral down that rabbit hole that some of us have been down, you know?
And that's the thing, like I remember watching, I don't know if you saw it, Ian Wright's documentary on the effects of domestic abuse. And he talked about abuse, not even so much as that he was the one receiving it, but growing up in an environment where it was an abusive and toxic environment. And he did receive abuse himself, but it was more about what he witnessed his mum going through. And he was saying, like at school, he would, like, he said he couldn't sit down and listen. He would be in the back of the class, lying on his back, shuffling from the cross on his back, like using his legs to shuffle back and forth across the room. And the gentleman he was speaking to at his old school said, yeah, nowadays, if we saw that, we'd be investigating, because that is unusual behavior. And it's normally reflecting there's something going on. And just as you were saying there, you know, when children are acting out, usually they're reflecting that something isn't right. And just yesterday, I was being interviewed on a podcast, and a lady was saying something like, you know, how do you find it working with like young girls? And I was saying it's sometimes so heartbreaking, because the people that need you the most are the hardest to reach. And you're like, I know that this is what you kind of need, but until you know that, until you're ready for it, more importantly, I can't really do too much other than just be here, like waiting. But when that point comes, but it's down to us at least putting that olive branch out there, offering that information. So like you said,
just listening and asking, because I mean I was one of them kids that I played up a lot, and I've told the story a few times more recently how one of my teachers, she saved my life, and because she just asked me, what is the matter? Rather than like telling me I'm bad, telling me this, telling me that, she just stopped. And like, because I used to get kicked out of her class, I used to walk in, get out, like literally, because I would just be naughty, and like I used to want to get kicked out, so I'd go do what I wanted. Then one day she just asked me, what is the matter? And I told her, and then that just changed our relationship. She became my person, she looked after me, and like, it's just asking kids, what are you okay? You can speak to me, like, you can express yourself, and this is why I'm all about these sort of things. And I just, I love it.
Yeah, and that's it. Like quite often, and like, because my daughter, she's only small, she's 4, but I want to cultivate that relationship with her, that she knows that she has my ear. Because all too often, those people in authority are just in this very tell mode, and don't empower young people to recognize they have a voice. And the only way to truly value a person, to truly empower a person, is to listen. That's something I'm always trying to knock into my husband's head. There's no point saying love and all this stuff if you're not willing to listen. And when you listen from here. You know, listen from the heart, which means I'm trying to understand where you're coming from and what you're really saying. And until we do that with our young people, then we're always going to find that there's going to be issues and we're going to be missing the mark.
Plus, it is the coach thing as well, because I see Gary Huskinson was just on there, and he does some events. I've been a part of some of his events, hosting them and co-hosting with him, helping out, talking about like the coach thing you were saying about how, you know, as well, for some of us, like we just got to get on with it, you know, just like children should be seen and not heard, like growing up, like, you know, children should be seen and not heard, be out of you, and, you know, just licks is just normal. And, you know, it's not okay really, like, but we've grown up just being told that and used to that, and that is our normal. But then also now it's, we've got to break the cycle, and like what you're doing with your daughter, like allowing her to just have your ear constantly is how everyone needs to do it, really. Yeah,
she's the motivation. She's the reason why I started working with girls. I had a few attempts at business prior to this one, and they didn't work out. But one just prior, which I was actually pregnant with her, and I was still doing it and needing to change a few things, and just thought, okay, I'm going to park it. But in that business, I had several people saying to me, why don't you work with girls? And I was a bit like, nah, I prefer adults. I like conversation. I like dialogue. I like to be challenged. I like people to come with their opinions. I don't want people to tell me miss. Just listen to me. Like, come back.
Well, you think them kids just gonna listen to you that easy?
Well, that's the reality. Yeah, when you get young people opening up, the thing is, it's the challenge is to build their trust and to create that environment, that conducive environment where they feel they can express, and then the free flow comes. But initially, they can be so kind of held back and withdrawn. It did put me off. But once I had my daughter, I knew that I was going to do everything in my power to make sure that girl's experience was going to be different from mine, and so that she could grow up from the get-go with the confidence and the balance, that I unfortunately didn't get. But I was like, what about her friends though? What about if she has friends who, I'm a geriatric mama, for truth be told, but she may have friends whose parents, maybe they're the older parents as well, but they haven't had the luxury to work through their stuff. Or, a lot of the issue was my mum had me young, so she didn't have the time to work through the stuff because she had a lot of happen to her in her life and childhood, and so that's where we had the generational thing. So I was like, if she's got those friends, where are they going to go? I'd like to know that there was a place that would help them. And that was why with the Like Me CIC, I work with women and teen girls, because I wanted to have that place for them.
Well, I think it's wicked. Anyone that's joining, let's just update them, tell them like where they can find you and like how brilliant this is for young ladies out there and to inspire the youth.
So our website is www.thelikemecic.org.uk. We're also on the Like Me CIC on social media, so Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and we're even on TikTok. So we can be finding on those platforms. And this year we're starting out with our project programs. We're going to have a wellbeing program coming up for women in Luton specifically. This is so. Once I have more details regarding that, I'll happily share. And we're also going to start a project working with teen girls, really wanting to empower them. Our 3 C's are confidence, courage, and celebration. And that's what every woman and every girl that we work with, we want them to grow in: confidence, courage, and celebration. And with that, we also want to bring the employability aspect of helping to upskill them. One of the great takeaways I got from our first conference that we did for teen girls, we have it each year, was we had a fashion show. And the boost that these girls got from taking part in that fashion show, they all, when they did their feedback, said it made them feel so much more confident, because a lot of the girls were like, no, we're not doing it, that kind of self-consciousness. But then when they saw their friends doing it, they're like, okay, and they did it, and they just loved it. And so for me, that was a real learning point, because I'm a talker, so I will talk to you and do whatever else. But I realized when you're working with people, the real bonus comes from marrying the talking and the action together. And that's why I talk about like the AAAs now, because it's one thing to speak things out, and it's important, very important, but you've got to be taking action. And so what we want to do with our programs is look at ways to develop young girls. We want to have a magazine that we get girls involved in, where they're doing interviews, they're writing poems, designing pictures, whatever, putting it into the magazine, and they're even learning about business, thinking about marketing and sales and all that stuff around it. So we've got some exciting stuff coming up.
Sounds amazing. Patiently.
The 3 C's again. I think that needs to be said again.
Yeah, and I was going to use the 3 A's because you only said 1 A.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So our 3 C's are confidence, courage, and celebration. Everything that we do, that's what we're aiming to impact our women and girls with, to be more confident, more courageous, and more celebratory. Because I think as women, females, we struggle to celebrate ourselves. And when we do, it helps bolster us. And then my AAAs, that is affirmations. What you tell yourself is really important. So your affirmations, and then you need to take action and then be accountable. And that's the power of us as when we come together.
I think we need big posters of that going into
schools. I like that.
Yeah.
We're working on all of that stuff now. So definitely agree with that. Thank you, ladies.
Amazing.
And also, as part of your events, are you going to be making any appearances soon?
Yes. indeed. I am going to be making appearances. So yes, next month I'm looking forward to joining Simply Deep. Yes, for the International Women's Day event. So yeah, I'll be sharing a little bit about myself and my story and stuff then. So I'm really excited to be a part of that.
Yeah, it's good that you're coming along, because it's one of our big events that we then do, and it's the first one back in 2 years. After all the lockdowns and stuff. Our very last big event was International Women's Day. Then we went into lockdown. So
Wow.
we're coming back with it again. So yeah, so I'm going to go through some of the. You can stay there if you want to, or we can pop off. Doesn't matter.
And my very first event that I done online was International Women's Day Zoom last year, which got me onto all of these things. Why I'm even here now. So it's very important.
Wow, amen. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, it was quite
First
a lot
time
of
I
the
ever shared
things.
anything.
Yeah, yeah, because when we were doing the Simply shows with the Recovery College,
yeah,
it was very much that we were just talking to you and things and having a bit of a conversation. We didn't really hear from Just Start, and then International
And then I went
Women's
and
Day.
told the world everything that I'm in the book with you.
Yeah.
It's me.
yeah.
She's stuck.
That's it. That's what you got to do.
So Shelley, so yeah, International Women's Day is on what day this year?
So it's Saturday the 12th of March is when we're doing our, I think it's the Tuesday during that week. But we're going to do ours on the 12th of March. If anyone has actually been to our event before, we're back to where we were. So in Marsh Farm Futures House. So that was the new bit that was then built in the middle of Marsh Farm itself, where the shops and stuff are. We're starting at 12 and we're kind of finishing at 5. Yeah, there has been a few times where I'm literally ready to get home, and it's about 7 o'clock before I walk through the door. But it's because we want to fill it with so much information. So you've got vendors, so independent women that have got their businesses, that they're selling their bits. We've got bits and pieces outside to do with charities and other projects that are available in the local area. Some of those would actually be speakers during the day, and we've got some other speakers like Jasmine. If you've got like your own little business and you want to find out more information, contact us. If you believe that you might have a story that we might be interested in, or there's a project that's then going on that you actually want to speak at our event, we're sorting out all the details now, but we could perhaps fit you in if you're really, really quick. So please do get in contact with us. We're going to be doing one of our community Zooms on the Thursday before. So that is then on the 10th, I think it was. So our usual Life in a Lockdown Zoom, where all this started to do with getting the books together and everything else. How Justa came along and loads of other people that we've got watching at the moment. So that's open free to anyone who's always got a book to hand. So we've got that Zoom. So you register for those, for that link in our events page as well. And to do with the books, we've also then Saturday, the 9th of April, we are doing a big book launch. We weren't able to do a book launch for the first one. We kind of did a mad screaming, shouting kind of thing. It was in the park. I did a load of lives by the time we got hold of the books. So we're doing a book launch for book 1 and book 2. That's going to be in Luton Town Centre, a beautiful venue along Park Street. You've actually then got we do like wine and nibbles. We're going to do like find out about all of the authors out of book 1s and 2s. There's about 25 of us, I think, that are going to be there. So we might do a few readings and bits and pieces. We've got someone that's going to be presenting that's got nothing to do with us. Dee's not going to be doing it. I'm not going to be doing it. But you might know the person that is doing it. So, yeah, so we've got all that kind of things sorted out. Tickets for that would be £10. There is availability to buy books on the day, and you're getting them signed and everything else. So if I put that up on there, it's an event that's on our Facebook page as well. So if you want to find it there, or you got the short version, lockdown book launch. And because it's such a special event, we are saying that it's smart dressed. You're not going to be full ball gowns or anything like that, but it's suited and booted. I am actually going to wear a dress. Now, for me to say I'm going to wear a dress never happens, and I'm not even sure half of you have actually seen my legs out between jeans, to be quite honest. Yes, it's all nice and smart, so it's a proper celebration of both books. Now we can finally do it. I think that's and the Dee's radio show is actually going to be on International Women's Day itself, so it's going to be on that Tuesday, so it gets pushed back a week. It makes it a really busy week for us, but we decided that with everything else that we've then got going on, we thought we'd actually change around Dee's radio show. But so yes, all those links are on our Facebook page, so please do go along and share them out. We put them bits and pieces in our In Together Share Together group. Saying about In Together Share Together group, if you've got any projects that's going on, events that's going on, anything that's going on in Luton, Bedfordshire, or even online things, please do put it into that group. That's free for you to share anything going on in the community. So please do use that as your little poster bit on Facebook for all the different events, because I think that's kind of what Simply Dee's does. We're more of a connectors. Yeah, we're proper. If we don't know, we know someone that does, and everything all just gets connected through. And there's so many times, even like today, we said that there was only going to be one guest on. There's going to be Jasmine coming on, and because it's the two of us that were presented today, I did think that I would get more out of finding out about the Like Me CIC. So it's different things like that happen. And as you said again today, Justa, it's like you found something that's happened, and then you found the similarities. It was that is like me.
100, yeah, so many things.
Yeah.
And I just think it's inspiring, and you know that I love these sort of things that help children and help with people's growth and inspiring them. So yeah, I'm glad we met today.
Lovely to meet you. I look forward to meeting you in person on the 12th.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do. I mean, I'd love to help as well, get involved if I can do, I mean, I know I do art in it, but I do poetry too. And yeah, we can talk more after.
Definitely. Look forward to that. That'd be great.
See, it's all those little things. Everyone needs to look after one another. I know we've had Jamal that sadly passed away, that is a Lutonian, and is in quite a lot of circles that we then know. And I think his whole ethos is just like very much a like me too kind of thing. That isn't his that saying that keeps going round at the minute, that was be the change that you want to see. And I think, yeah, that's something that we need more of, especially in Luton. But yeah,
that's right.
But yes, so hopefully see you all either online somewhere, stay safe, and then in person, International Women's Day.
Looking forward to it, ladies.
Well, see, we've got to find out more about you now, Jasmine. And it was a bit like, what was there now left to find out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you have your plans in place by then. So
yeah, we'll
with
do.
all your extra bits.
Yeah, hopefully we have a lot more to share. A lot more by then.
Cool. Okay then.
Okay. Wicked. Well, don't forget to check out the Like Me. I know, I just seen that as well. So it's bang on. Like the Like Me CIC. Check them out on all platforms. Try and get involved. Try help, support, send people their way. It sounds like a beautiful platform. I'm definitely going to be getting involved. And see you next Tuesday. You know how it goes. Sing Me Together show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, ladies.
Bye, guys.
Love.